Hello everyone, Carl here from Games, Brains and a Headbanger Live, here with day 10 of the lockdown list. Yes, we've made it to day 10. We hope sincerely that you are staying safe out there and staying well inside. We are sticking with Amazon Prime for the next recommendation, and it is Return of the Living Dead Part 3. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, why the hell are you coming in with Part 3? The reason being, it's really simple. The original Return of the Living Dead, which is a recommendation if you've never seen it, is available on Netflix. However, I'm not doing a video for it because how many times can I say watch that fucking movie? It's in our title, the brains part. Return of the Living Dead is, I expect you to have already seen it. I expect if you're watching this, you've already seen Return of the Living Dead. If not, go on Netflix, watch it before this. Reason why I'm not recommending Return of the Living Dead Part 2 is because I don't want to. Simply put, I want you to enjoy Return of the Living Dead movies, and I don't know if 2 is quite going to do that. It's a comedy horror, takes a lot of liberties. It's not one I want to recommend. And also, I don't believe, if I remember correctly, I don't think it's free on Amazon Prime. I think you need a different channel on Prime, so it's not like, you know, you're already paying for extra. We kind of want to keep it to a single streaming service, which is the case here. You only need a Prime account to watch Return of the Living Dead Part 3. The important thing as well is you could watch Return of the Living Dead Part 3 having never seen any other Return of the Living Dead. Although if you haven't seen the first one, what are you doing? As I've already said. You can watch Return of the Living Dead Part 3 in a bubble. It is just a zombie horror. It's got very tenuous links to the original movie in that its zombies are very similar in that they're almost indestructible and the triaxin gas. But if you don't know what it is, it doesn't matter because the majority of this movie is set around two characters. This is Romeo and Juliet in a zombie horror, so to speak. It's brutal, it's gory, it's very, very violent. Incredible effects in this. This is, if you watch these in order, watch Return of the Living Dead 1 with its punk rock, tongue-in-cheek, black comedy horror. Watched Return of the Living Dead 2 with its out-and-out horror comedy, slapstick stuff. And then came to this one, you'd be like, what the fuck? There is no comedy in this movie. It is not that at all. And it basically surrounds a makeshift military base where Colonel Reynolds and his team are using triaxin to experiment on people. They're reanimating the dead with triaxin and trying to see what they can do with it. But inevitably it fails miserably because you cannot control these zombies, and it fails. This seems to get Colonel Reynolds in a lot of trouble, and he returns home where he tells his son, Kurt, that they're basically going to have to move again. And they've been doing this all their life. Kurt's less than happy because he's happening to be hooking up with Julie. They're in love. You get an early sex scene if that's your jam between the pair. She's a bit of a, how would I call it? A badass, a punk rock girl, you know. She's wild. He's a bit more straight-laced because of who his father is and the military background. She's wild and all that. But they're into each other. So when Kurt gets told, oh, we've got to leave, we're going to be moving again and stuff, he's less than happy about it. So he gets on his motorcycle and drives off with Julie. The plan, both of them are just going to go on their own. Fuck his father. I'm not moving, I'm staying, we're going to go off on our own. She's really happy, he's really happy. She stupidly gets a little bit touchy-feely with him on the bike, which distracts him, and they crash. She dies in this crash. Pretty horrific scene as well, the way she dies. Kurt is distraught. Of course he's distraught. And after having witnessed what his father did with triaxin zombies, which I forgot to mention, they'd seen the experiment, they'd sneaked in and seen the experiment, he decides to take her there, use his father's ID to get her in, and figures he can reanimate her and she'll be alright. Of course, we know that's not the case. It works, she reanimates, and she's got a lot of her human faculties. She recognises him, can talk to him and stuff like that, but she's got a hunger. A constant hunger that cannot be sated by standard food. Now, her love for him keeps her from attacking him, but she can't help herself when it comes to others. And this is something Kurt tries to control. And as she attacks others, she infects them and the virus spreads. That's, I think, the biggest change between this and Return of the Living Dead 1. In that Return of the Living Dead, zombie bites don't infect you, they eat your brains and so on, and this is a bit more of an infection thing going on. And the majority of the movie is basically Kurt and Julie on the run as the military hunt them, and him trying to deal with her ever-grown problems. She finds a solution to deal with her hunger, which is to cause herself pain. And this does tie back into the original movie, where the torso corpse talks about the pain of being dead, which is something Julie suffers from as well. So she damages herself, causes herself a lot of pain to do it, and that ramps up as the movie goes on, leading to some pretty horrific visuals near the end, where she takes things to an extra level. And there is some incredible imagery in regards to the damage that is done to these zombies and what they can survive and how far it will go. It does end in a very downbeat note. I'm not going to spoil it for you. This is spoiler free, but basically the entire movie is majority based around Julia and Kurt and how they can get through this and still be together. You know, that seems an impossibility considering she is a zombie and he's a human, but it does tell it in an interesting way. And the finale is incredibly over the top, violent and gory, and entertaining for the visual effects. This is an impressive movie. The second best Return of the Living Dead movie for sure. It's available on Amazon Prime. Make sure you check it out. Let us know what you think of it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/GBHBL, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?